And it's me again. And today we're going to work on multi-step word problems, but we're going to start our last word problem. I think we kept it pretty simple. This one we're taking it up a notch, and then we're going to take it up a notch one more time from there. Sorry for my typo. I'm trying to do a couple of different things and work with my husband upstairs. So a coffee shop sells a ceramic mug for $8.95. Each refill costs $1.50. Last month, Kira spent $26.95 on a mug and refills. How many refills did she buy? So let's just take this and say, all right, we've got this girl. She likes to drink coffee, obviously. She went out and bought a new mug, and then she refilled it a bunch, and she spent a certain amount of money. And now we need to figure out how many refills that she actually bought in that month that she spent this amount of money. And there it was again. I summed up what was going on in the problem so I can understand what's going on and what I'm looking for. So now let's start making that algebraic equation. Put that variable in there. Well, what do we know? We know that she bought a ceramic mug, and that mug doesn't change price. It's $8.95. So she starts off with that, kind of like a base price. Now we want to know how many refills. So because refills is in our question, and because we know each refill costs $1.50, we have to add to this cost. And we're going to add that $1.50, and we're going to give that R, and I'm going to make, let's put that up here. R equals refill. Sorry, I should have thought of that a little bit earlier. R equals refill. This is what changes. 1 month, if I only buy one refill, I'm only going to pay $1.50. But for every time I buy another refill, this number is going to change. Hence why we made it the coefficient and the variable. We know last month she spent $26.95. Well, we've got our two-step equation, so all we have to do from here is start isolating that variable. We know, and we talk about this in class often, that there's an invisible plus sign in front of that $8.95. So its inverse operation is subtracting $8.95 from each side, which would give me, I'm going to run this all the way over here. Oh, there's my hashtag. 150R equals 18. Yeah, I hope I did that math right. Continuing to isolate my variable further, I'm going to divide each side by $1.50. And I'm going to find out that my R actually equals, I don't have my calculator. Let's see. Well, when in doubt, do it the old-fashioned way. R equals 12 refills. And that's one of our multi-step word problems. Now I'm going to take it up one notch from here. And yes, now I have a new student who's paying attention. This is my daughter's cat, Monkey. Again, hashtag teaching from home. Why dogs don't come to school, or cats, and trying to focus. Let's take these. Oops, I want to leave that. Keep going? Yeah, keep going. I want to put this other word problem on here so it's indeed multi-step. Okay. All right. So, my guys and gals, this one, there's a lot of vocabulary in this particular word problem, and there's not a whole lot of numbers. So we're going to have to actually build a word problem, or excuse me, build an equation from a bunch of words. So here we go. The base angles of an isosceles triangle are congruent. The measure of each angle is twice the measure of the third angle. Find the measure of the three angles. Well, I'm going to use A for angles because that's what I'm going to be looking for. And because we've got so much vocabulary, I'm going to try and include a couple other. That's a horrible triangle. I'm going to try and include okay, so We know that in an isosceles triangle that the sides are congruent and that our base angles are congruent. And there, our third angle is a different measure. So we also know that the interior angles of all triangles equals 180 degrees. So that's how we're going to start building our problem. We know that all of our angles have to equal 180 degrees. We have three angles, which means that we need three different measurements. And those three measurements together, when we're done, have to add up to 180. So we have the measure of this odd angle, which is what I'm going to use for A. We're going to add to that, again, we know that these angles are twice the size of this angle up here. So if it's twice the size, I'm going to multiply whatever I get for the measure of that angle by 2. And altogether, there are the representations of each of the angles in my triangle, in my isosceles triangle. So we go back to another concept, and we're going to go ahead here and combine our like terms. So a lot of you tend to put a 1 in front of that. So 1a plus 2a is going to give me 5a. And 5a is going to equal 180 degrees. Now that we've combined our like terms and we have a multiplication problem, we're going to undo multiplication with division. And we're going to divide each side by 5. We're going to find that once we put this into our calculator, once 180 is divided by 5, that A is 36 degrees. So that would be this angle up here. 2A, multiplying our measure by 2, would be 72. 2A again is 72. And when we add those together, we get 180 degrees. And we're done with our problem.